Yo, what is up, Rovers? Changli's full kit actually is revealed in the most recent story quest here, and I wanted to go over it on what she does and what her potential stuff like her teams and all that can be. So she is they have her categorized as a main damage dealer for Resonance Skill, Fusion Damage Amplification, and Resonance Liberation Amp because her outro skill gives the next person to swap in 20% fusion damage and 25% resonance liberation, which if you thought about it, is similar to Yin Lin. It's pretty much the exact same thing as Yin Lin, but for fusion, which is pretty cool. Now, her weapon, I've heard a lot of dreamers talking it's attack percent, but it is not. It is crit damage. So that is something people had wrong. And Echoes, I talked about this in my previous Echo video. She is obviously going to be on Fusion set. Her active's probably gonna be Ghost Rider. Ghost Rider is not a bad active to have, honestly. But if anything, you know, if you're in like a boss fight and you want something that's like more cancelable or like not as animation interruption, you can probably just go like the Dreadhound. Dreadhound is a pretty clean animation and you can parry with it, which is cool. So her skills here, or her forte, basic attack has a 4-hit combo, and after her 4-hit combo, she goes into a true sight form. And I don't know specifically on anything on this. I'm going to go over into gameplay right now because you're able to play her, but I'll be able to show you the true sight thing after. But she goes into true sight. Her skill is just her skill and dashes towards the enemy and makes her go into true sight. So she can go into true sight from either her basic attack 4 or from her skill, and both of them are for 12 seconds. And at the end of her true sight, she does a plunging attack, which does fusion damage. It says True Sight Capture has 2 initial attempts and can be used up to 2 times. So you can plunge twice, I'm assuming. It says the number of attempts is also increased by 1 every 12 seconds, which is interesting. And then on the bottom right here, it's just True Sight with the basic attack, and then you can also charge up the True Sight. So if she jumps or uses basic attack in midair, she releases True Sight Charge, dashing towards the enemy and dealing fusion damage. Okay, that's a lot. Does a lot on paper, I'm not gonna lie. But Wuwa character kits, I'm not gonna lie, they're like a lot on paper, but they're usually not that complicated in gameplay, which we will get to soon here. And her forte circuit is more on her true sight. So her heavy attack makes it so she can get 4 stacks of inflamement, and she consumes all stacks of inflamement to do Flaming Sacrifice, which does resonance skill damage bonus. Or resonance skill damage, and when she's casting this, she takes 40% less damage, so damage reduction when she's casting that to make sure she can get off the animation. That's pretty cool. Inflamement has this little tooltip right here. She can hold 4 stacks. She gets a stack every basic attack, and she also gains a stack for every True Sight charge. So pretty much anytime she does True Sight, she gets these inflamement stacks here. I don't know what the maximum amount of inflamement stacks is, though. It seems like there's no max on the stacks. Oh, wait, no, I just said that at the start. I'm trolling. So she can get 4 stacks max of this. So you can either skill to have all 4 stacks, or you can do your full basic attack combo to get full stacks. And this has pretty good scaling, I'm not going to lie. It does a 26 by 5, and then it also says 313. And this is at level 5. So that's pretty high. So her inherent skills are really good. Her first one makes it so she can get 20% fusion damage increase, which is pretty nice. And you can get that literally off of just casting your skill or doing your full basic attack combo. And that either one of those will give her 20% fusion damage bonus, which is pretty nice. And then her second one makes it so she gets another 20% after doing Flaming Sacrifice or her Resonance Liberation, her ult. And this makes it so she ignores 15% of the defense when she's dealing damage, which is insane. And then she also has the other fusion damage bonus. That's why I said 40 earlier. I was thinking of the second inherent skill. So yeah, she has 40% fusion damage bonus off of like just her like base kit, like pretty much no requirement almost. And then her ult is just big damage, it seems. She deals fusion damage to nearby targets, and it also gives her 4 stacks. So her ult also gives her 4 stacks. And she gets Fiery Feather, which is where she releases her heavy attack. She gets a 25% attack buff. So she has a self-attack buff, self-fusion buff, self-defense shred. she's looking kind of crazy, you know? She's looking kind of crazy. The looks are going with this skill right here. I'm not gonna lie. And then 830, pretty decent scaling. Not the highest, but not bad when going with the other thing. When she's more skill focused and forte, it seems. But 830 is pretty solid. Also, level 5 as well. Her intro skill is just appears mid-air, attacks a target, enters true sight. So if she's swapped into, she also enters true sight. So you're pretty much always going to be in true sight. If you're not in true sight, you're trolling your rotation pretty much. Intro skill doesn't do much damage as usual. Most intro skills don't do that much damage. And yeah, she's also a crit node stat bonus. So, you know, classic crit node stat bonus. And then she also gives attack on here. Makes sense she's not fusion since she gives herself literally 40% fusion damage bonus. That is pretty crazy. And then her resonance chains here, she has resonance chain for 10% damage increase on resonance skill and heavy attack. And then she also gets a resistance to interruption. She has a 25% crit boost from inflamement, which I'm pretty sure she's going to have 100% uptime on. So her S2 is pretty strong. S3 makes it so that her ult does 80% more damage. Pretty fat. Fourth one makes it so her whole team gets a 20% attack boost. Seems like a lot of 5-stars have that. And her fifth one makes it so her heavy attack gets a 50% multiplier increase. And that her damage dealt is also increased by 50%. So that is huge. And then her C6 makes it so that her skill, heavy attack, and resonance liberation all ignore 40% of the target's defense when dealing damage, which is insane because that means she ignores 55% of the defense of the enemy she is fighting. So she's literally just shredding them. She might have the strongest S6 in the game. I don't know though because we don't have much defense shredders, but defense shred is always strong, I'm not gonna lie. So I'm not, her S6 seems pretty crazy. I think she's just gonna nuke everything. But let's get into the gameplay here. So, because we are able to play her. Fighting this thing, I kind of want to just, oh, it's not targeting on me? Oh, big. Oh yeah, I kind of want to see, definitely see her like attack string here. So her fourth one here, so that's what she does. So after she goes into true sight, it makes her do that attack right there. So she goes 1, 2, 3, 4, and now she has true sight. And then she does that little shumpo attack. Holy the Phoenix though. What the? Oh, her combos are crazy. Okay, so we go 1, 2, 4 here. We go like this. Skill. True sight again. I went too far from the boss. Okay. Let's not go too far from the boss. Her attacks are fire. Her attacks are crazy. Okay, so you can go 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you can skill, also true sight, and then you can skill again, and then also true sight. And then you can Phoenix and then slam again. That is crazy. What the? Wait. Let me read this again. But you have to hit someone. All right, let's go into combat. Hopefully I don't mess this up so I can showcase it nicely. Wait for my 2 skills to come up. I got 1 second on this thing. All right, let's see this. All right, should we go like this? Oh, it's the Echo with the big sword. Oh, the inflamement is her forte on the bottom right there. I see it. So that's her heavy attack right there. So that was the inflamement heavy. Damn, this thing is a little bit tanky though. Oh my, the thing just put me in a tornado. Okay, I see why this is a 3 cost. I was thinking this was a 1 cost from the pictures we seen from the preview. This guy go kind of crazy.
Mind's eye.
So every true sight's giving me that inflamement right there, as you can see.
Perish in flames.
So right here, that's a full inflamement attack. Do some JINHSI gameplay. JINHSI is pretty easy. She also has a lot of text, but JINHSI is literally just N4, E, do your combo, do N4 again, and then slam on them. Bang. Oh, I didn't get to do her ult though. Oh, I didn't get to do her ult. That's the only thing I didn't get to do. Quick attacks. Her ult's not that crazy. We seen her ult on the live stream though. I'm pretty sure, not live stream, the video.
Flare stones.
I'm pretty sure we seen her ult animation in that video.
Let's head back to the entrance. We should be able to access the cipher key
Alright.
now.
Alright, the last thing, I almost forgot to talk about her teams. Changli's potential teams with her outro skill being a fusion damage and Resonance Liberation damage boost. She is going to be a very solid teammate for Chixia and Mortefi and Encore as well. So those are probably going to be her pairings, and then obviously having Verena in like the third slot can also be an option. So you could have something like, imagine my Donjin is Changli here. You could have Changli, Chixia Verena, or like Changli, Mortefi, Verena, or you could have, I don't know about Chixia and Mortefi with Changli. That's probably too much field time realistically, because Chixia wants to be on field. So it would probably be one or the other. And then you could also have Changli combo with Encore, since Encore likes to animation cancel a lot of her abilities. And the Resonance Liberation, while it doesn't help her, she still gets the fusion damage bonus, which will be a nice little bonus for Encore there. And then your third character, like, once again, could be something like a Verena or a Baiji.
May this journey bring us
for
closer
your
to the
third
truth.
slot here. But her having the pretty much same outro skill as Yin Lin, but for fusion damage is pretty nice. I'm not going to lie. It can open up a lot of windows for future fusion-based characters that we get. Also, she does do a decent amount of normal attacks. I don't know how much of her combo is going to be normal attacks, but she does do a decent amount of normal attacks in her combo, while most of her damage is skill. But Sanhua is probably going to be a decent teammate with her as well because of that. So you could have something like that as well. But Sanhua would not be able to utilize the buff. She would be able to utilize the Resonance Liberation, which is good, but she won't be able to utilize the fusion damage buff. But the Liberation will still be pretty solid. So you could have something like Changli, Sanhua, Baiji, and or Verena. Oh, and one last thing I want to add on. I did not talk about Taochi because Taochi, she is just in a weird place. Her Concerto takes really long to get up, and then playing her on field just feels very clunky. So I personally would not recommend her, but she does give you a fat Resonance skill damage amp, which should be on paper really good. But you know, maybe Taochi will get insane when she has like S6 or something. But right now, I personally would not recommend her.